pretty much no one can say like, oh, this happened and this and you suck, and the other person can be like, no, watch this certain timestamp, you're trash.
You want to be a love child. You want to be the love child of Enzo and K Young.
Yeah.
He just wants to be loved.
Well, just to be clear, this is what you guys are worshiping.
Exactly. The season, since we never finished, but he became my mixtape brother. And when I say mixtape brother, I had this saying where when
I don't think I necessarily have a kryptonite.
Oh, so you think everyone's easy?
Whoa.
No.
Oh.
Team Blink Army.
When we give you guys 5 wins, of course you're gonna have a lot of fun.
Oh, man. No. That was just the one time.
All right, is everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right,
Hell yeah.
3, 2, 1, Dodgeball! What's up, everybody, and welcome to 321 Dodgeball Podcast. My name is James, your host for today, and alongside, I'm joined with
Debs?
Raph.
Son.
Gino.
Enzo, I'm trash.
All right, and we have a very special quarantine social distancing episode of our podcast today. It is day, 14 of social distancing. And we are joined alongside our very special guests from Doki. We have Mr. Keith Law. We have Hubert. Oh, Hubert, what's your last name?
New.
Hubert New. And we have Cynthia Lee. All right, let's give it up for them.
Hey.
What up?
All right, Sung, you want to take it away with the questions?
How did you guys get into dodgeball? Like the history of Doki.
Keith, do you want to take this one?
Yeah,
As our
Keith.
captain.
Oh, you're the captain.
Just a stand-in. Just a stand-in.
Who's the captain?
I think Derek, one of our teammates, was the first to start. He was playing on a coworker team with his Starbucks friends, and he asked me to sub one day because they were missing a player. I played for one night. I thought it was really fun, and I thought, hey, let's start a dodgeball team, guys. And I actually got shot down by all these guys currently playing. They said, no one don't care about dodgeball. Let's play something else like volleyball. And then I forgot what happened after one season. After that, people started to become interested, and then we started Big Ball Club. I think, yeah, that was our first team. And it just started from there.
Oh yeah, but that's Big Ball Club. But Doki formed because the Starbucks guys like Keith was talking about, there was a team with Derek, Dylan, and Antonia, right? And then Big Ball Club had Derek, myself, Keith, and Cynthia, and Ben and Eric. And then we decided, hey, let's just make a more competitive team with our best players. So then we made Doki. And then we basically took, we already had Derek, and then we took Dylan and Antonia. And then we had our dream team, but then everyone was injured. So we ended up just having everybody from Big Ball Club, and then Antonia and Dylan as well. So that was really the origin of Doki Dodgeball Club.
How many seasons ago was that?
3 seasons, I think.
Yes,
Only
about
2
3
years in.
for Doki.
Yeah.
When did BBC start? Big Ball
Season
Club.
24, I think. 24 or
Maybe
25.
2 seasons before Doki. We haven't been playing for that long.
So it's
Yeah.
only been
Yeah.
2 years for you guys.
Yeah, about, yeah.
About, yeah.
Yeah, and just a side information, BBC, they won their Tier 5 champion on Thursday at season 26.
Wow.
Then for season 27, the next season, Doki Dodgeball, they end up winning Tier 2 for Tuesday night.
Nice.
We actually won Tier 4 on BBC the year before, or the season before we won Tier 5. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah. We regressed.
A more competitive team.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Like, you guys are improving so much. So our next question is, do you guys have any, practice method that you guys do? Maybe, outside games?
Oh, yeah. We used to practice on the weekends. So we would rent out, a community center gym, and a lot of us would come together. We do drills to begin with, and then specific skill building, and then at the end we would do scrims or practice 1v1s. And then aside from that, every night after games we would edit, upload our videos, and then do analysis. So pretty much no one can say oh, this happened and this, like, and you suck, and the other person can be like, no, watch this certain timestamp, you're trash. And we call each other out constantly. Like, our group chat is strictly for dodgeball now. We don't hang out otherwise.
You guys were playing with Enzo already? Yeah.
Yes.
Did you guys start?
A lot of us have our own like, we bought dodgeballs too to practice at home. So
just out of curiosity, individually, what do you think was the most like efficient practice routine for you guys, or practice method?
For myself, it was just throwing. I think I basically set up in this room here. You see that mat in the back? I pretty much put that all the way at the back of my closet, and then I just had a dodgeball, and then I would just throw at it, and I would work on throwing from like every range from like up here all the way down to here, and just make sure I was comfortable throwing anywhere there. So individually, I just spent a lot of time practicing throwing indoors here.
Cool. How about
and then
you guys, Keith and Cynthia?
yeah, Keith, I'll let you go.
More or less the same. I use one of my the old dog bed that the dog doesn't use anymore, and I just put it at my front door, and I just throw it from down the hall. And then some foot drills. That's pretty much it, because I don't move fast enough.
What is a foot drill?
I mean, it's like footwork. Just for footwork. So for like backpedaling, dashing forwards, etc. It's kind of like suicides, I guess. Sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw your Instagram story. You were like throwing a ball on your bag. Yeah, it's really funny. Like, I should do that.
Yeah, good stuff. For myself, I initially practiced throwing a lot because I didn't have like the best form. But these days I'm focusing a lot more on catching. So I'll have these guys throw at me, aiming for like specific parts outside of my box, and then just catching that. And I'll do a lot more time, like focus on analyzing people's videos, especially like watching different girls and seeing how they react in different situations. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Raph,
Which one's Raph?
Partying it up. Another question is, we're just gonna get all the serious question out of the way so we can go into more of the casual questions later. But I think one of the best method to like improve is not mimicking, but observing how a veteran player plays and trying to like incorporate some of their skills or trying to emulate from them. Is there any specific players that you guys look up to or try to mimic your games after?
Yeah, I guess I can start again. So I guess when I first started watching Debs' videos, that's where we got a lot of our information from when we first started. And I'd always do the thing where you watch the video and the camera always focuses on usually who's in one. So a lot of the people I would watch at first were Victor and CVal. And yeah, I actually like copied a lot of what Victor did. So I copied his grip. When I first started throwing or started playing, I threw a lot of high balls. And it's always because I threw overhand like this, and I had really sweaty hands, so the ball would always slip out of my hands, and people were always really unimpressed with me. So then I started noticing that when he throws a lot, when he does a windup, he kind of comes in at an angle like this. And then so I also copied that as well. And all of a sudden, I wasn't having to roll my ball back like every game. And then when I was trying to learn a curveball, I started copying what CVal was doing. So I'd like pause the video and I put it at like 0.25 speed, and then I'd see like, oh, when he's throwing it, his hand's actually like a little bit over here, and he kind of like rolls it like that. And then I tried to like copy that as well. So yeah, just like a lot of watching whoever was pretty much playing that one position in Deb's video and seeing what they do and just trying to copy that. And like, oh yeah, I used to like see Gino throwing from like behind people, so I started copying that too, and I started doing it in games. And then people told me stop doing that.
Yeah, don't do that. It's not worth it most of the time, honestly.
It's so fun.
It is.
The
it is
girls on
actually a
our
lot
team
of fun.
are quite tall too, so we're kind of hard to throw around as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I also like Jay Vu. I copy his fakes. That's where I learned faking from.
Yeah, you can learn a lot by like watching how he plays.
Yeah.
Along the same lines, I also watched Jvu for the faking. I watched James for his catching. James and Sung, actually. James is, and just like I know you guys catch. I know. I mean, I'm catching is like my weakest point, so I always watch you guys for any like catching. I don't know, trying to glean some catching tips or things I could copy. I also watched Ian Parker a lot because I've seen him play on court in person a lot, probably more than in videos because I don't think I've seen too many. His sweeping, his flexibility, I guess, and his reach is just kind of crazy. And then I also realized I can't copy him because I don't know how tall he is. I'm 5'6", so my limbs only go so far. So I had to figure out my own thing. So I actually started looking at players like Jamie, actually, people closer to my size who were really good at sweeping because I had more emphasis on sweeping. So I would watch girls actually. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Best sweepers.
Strategy. Sorry. For myself, similar to Raf's background, I watch Debs a lot, specifically like her gameplay decisions, because I always notice that she is like one of the ones to be last, but she'll always clutch, and I couldn't figure out like how I could emulate that. But one of the things I took away was in like a 2v1 scenario, like if two people are throwing at her and she has a ball, she'll like throw out one and then like screw their timing up and then catch the other, and then it would like turn the tables for her team. So I always thought Deb's strategy was like really helpful to try to emulate. And then there'd be girls like Lily, who I noticed for like their aggression, but also knowing when to like hide the ball and then like throw at an opportune time when people aren't expecting her. Akina and Yams for their like commitment to catch. Similar to Keith, I really wanted to work on my catching last season, so I would watch them a lot. And then in terms of my throwing, I would actually watch Monica. And yeah, so like for me at least, I like to watch a bunch of different players and like take my favorite parts of what they do and how it fits for me.
Trying to be all around. Nice.
Do you want to say anything? Yeah. Do you want to say anything to that, Debs?
Oh, I feel so flattered. But I do notice, like, when we were playing with you on Mondays, that you do kind of play similar to my style, which is, like, very flattering.
Wow,
she's so good. Oh, my God, she's so good.
Dad's just going to start crying now.
Wow. Life
to be honest,
milestone achieved.
Remember that, what was it, 1 week where Debs complimented us and we were all, like, super happy in the chat. Like, yeah, Debs approval.
Gotta frame it.
Yeah, I know.
It's my new ringtone.
Yeah.
You guys are so good.
You guys are so good. Your background.
I know, right?
You guys distracting me.
Debs, you can't see that, can you?
So yeah. So for all the podcast listeners who can't see the background right now, Raf's current background is a picture of Debs attempting to make a catch, but the ball's like hitting her like chin or face. Yeah. Yeah.
And my hands are nowhere close to the ball.
It could have been like you got it, but then it
Squeezed it
slipped
too
and
hard.
Like it popped up, maybe.
like it popped up.
Yeah.
The photo just like didn't do you justice, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Related to the previous question, do you guys have any goal of which player or which level do you think is reasonable? Like I think this is a question from Enzo. Like watching players, do you think there's a player that you set as a goal that you think is achievable? I think that's like low-key trash talking, but let's see.
This is a really loaded question.
I know who. Enzo.
Yeah,
man.
But do you guys have
already
any
played with
players
him
like
on
that?
Monday.
Like who you're trying to get on the same level as?
Yeah.
I guess if I just kind of go off like our Monday team, there's two kind of play styles that I kind of like and want to kind of be the best of both at. So you got Kevin Young on one hand, who's insane. He's just flying all over the court, throwing as hard as he can.
Yeah.
Like just blowing people up, right? And so like I want to do that. But at the same time, I look at like what Enzo does. He has a ball and then he holds it and then he keeps covering you. So if there's a way I can kind of merge those two together and just kind of be the same or like both of them at the top, I think that's what I'm trying to get to, right? It's where like when I need to, I can blow somebody up, and then when it's not the right opportunity, I can still be a little bit reserved and kind of protect my teammates. That's kind of the level I'm trying to get to.
So you want to be a love child. You want to be the love child of Enzo and K Young.
Yeah.
He just wants to be loved.
At the same time, I feel like Sung is kind of in the middle of them too. Unless I don't know, how do you feel about that Sung? That comment? I think you're kind of like them too, right?
Take it away. Take it away. I want to hear.
Like them?
And that,
He's sipping his tea.
yeah, like I think Sung is also like a love child of them in that when Sung needs to blow somebody up, he can, but at the same time, when he needs to hold it and like calm down a little bit, he can do that too. Although, like, I guess Sung, out of all of you guys so far, from what I've seen in the 5 weeks of playing, he's got that clutch factor though, where like he's like in a corner, everyone's throwing at him, he's somehow still alive, and then he just kind of wins the game.
Okay, I kind of saw Devs as being the biggest like clutch factor on the team, but.
Oh, that's probably more true. There's so many times that we played with Debs where she'll catch me back in and I immediately die and she still wins the game. So yeah, you know, that's probably true.
Yeah, but thanks. What was it? Just from my observation, like you and Kevin Young had really good synergy because what was it? I think it started off even prior to season 29, season 28 when I was talking to you. This is before I knew you too well because I only recognized you as like Doki Doki player and also playing against you at grand finals for PDL. Yeah, so but for was it our Monday team? It was formed when well, it was initially proposed when Keith mentioned it during Tuesday. I think it was the mid-season bonder of how you were trying to get into tier 1 and trying to like play with let's say regular tier 1 player just so you can like learn stuff and also get more exposure to tier 1 level. Sorry, going off track, but Hubert, I was talking to him one day. I know Hubert, he can throw harder, so I kind of gave you a homework of your own saying, oh, try to like hit me out 8 out of 10 times without getting caught. Then Kevin Young, he was in the gym. So I asked Kevin Young to like whale the ball as fast as he can against the wall. Then it made a loud like exploding sound. And I remember like Hubert had this like expression on his face where it was like a little boy looking at a Christmas present on Christmas Day, where it was like all sparkly in his eyes. And after then, since that day, like I always saw Hubert like off whenever he wasn't playing, like just like whaling the ball as hard as he can, like against the wall at the gym. So I think that's where he started improving. And like what I'm trying to say from this is like you and Kevin Young, like you guys like trust each other a lot on the court, and I really dig that. Like when you guys were playing 5 and 6, I didn't have to worry about you guys at all. So yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, going back, was it Keith? Do you have any like achievable goal?
In terms of like becoming or like being on the same level as
Like a specific player, yeah.
I think in the very beginning, I really liked how JCC played. Because it was honestly, it was the faking. The faking sold me. I think I first saw the effects of proper faking from him. Although it was very exaggerated, but it worked. Like JCC could put up pressure. When he starts doing his fakes, you don't know if he's actually faking or throwing, but it also really drained him.
He doesn't even know if he's faking.
He fakes like maybe it'll come out, maybe it won't. Yeah, I guess that's the first. I don't know. I haven't really thought about. It's more or less. I've been looking at players to try and pick apart pieces that I like to try and incorporate it in my own play. Not necessarily to mimic someone completely, to be on their level, so to speak. Not really sure.
Yeah, I'd probably roll along the same lines as Keith and like trying to pick like my favorite parts, because I don't like, obviously Debs is goals, but I don't think I'm gonna attain her level anytime.
You can. Oh my gosh, I suck.
No. So yeah, I would say like if I had to choose anyone that I'd really want to like learn the most from, it would be her.
Aw, thanks. Are you sure you're just not saying that because I'm in the room?
Yeah.
You could say yams.
You could tell the truth.
Debs is already typing out the PayPal transaction. It's okay. $5 transfer sent.
Yeah. No, we've been like watching everyone since like our first or second season, and like Debs has always been the one where the guys are like, Cynthia, like, can you just learn how to be Debs? And I'd be like, I don't know how. And we would have to practice.
You have to buy V-necks first. And then...
Yeah. And like put your shoes on and like loosely tie it only.
Yeah.
And you need like a full black attire for
and get a bunch of free stuff.
Probably also came down to the fact that the videos were on Debs' channel, right? So then you kind of like wonder, well, who's Debs? And then you kind of watch her play, and like she's gonna be in like a lot of the videos, a lot of the tier 1 videos too. Yeah. And I remember like when Cynthia was in Korea for 4 months, like on her dodgeball break, it would be like, here, watch this video of Debs. Look at what she's doing, right? And then I remember it was also because of one of the previous podcasts, right, where Debs was kind of talking, or the one about like girls and what their responsibilities and roles are on the court, right? And it's where like, it's one thing to have a great arm and try to take out everybody as a girl, but it's also another to be able to play that role where, when you pick up a ball, you put presence on the court, right? You do pressure with it. You don't just pick up the ball and hold it between your legs, and then you don't even get thrown at, right? So that was like one thing I remember we spent a lot of time talking about on Doki, what to do with our girls, right? Because we always want to encourage them to pick up the ball and not just be like gophers on the court. And then it was just like, well, what do you do once you actually have that ball, right? And then like, I think Debs was kind of the natural choice that we kind of looked at.
We should really rename this like Debs honoring, or we're like praise Debs like podcast right now.
Yeah.
You guys want to talk about Enzo? On my background, the hala. Yeah, this is so. Just to be clear, this is what you guys are worshiping.
Exactly.
Great.
I mean, you guys all make these podcasts and put on her channel too. We all apparently love Debs a lot. She's kind of like the owner of us.
Oh, thanks, guys. I'm just glad you guys watch the videos because, sometimes we only get like 30 views.
Yeah, 15 of those are from the 3 of us, probably.
Yeah. We just keep rewinding, sharing it, timestamping it.
Yeah, exactly.
And Boss only shares like one account, so you only see like one view from like Boss ever.
Yeah.
I know, that sucks. They should make their own.
No, we'll watch it from our Doki channel and our personal account. Don't
worry. Is there any specific video that you guys keep watching over and over?
I don't know.
I think that's a
question. Not like you,
I used to just go through the playlist for playoffs. Like if I go through and I look at all the like I've watched all the playoff videos up to like maybe season 22. Because you just go to like the playlist tab and then you just go view all playlists, and then I just go through everything. And I've probably gone through like each of them like at least twice, up to like season 22 or something.
Is there a specific one that you like? Is there a specific playoff run that you guys like?
I'm just trying to think about what are like the really big plays I've seen. Oh, I saw like that one where, was it Sean? Like he made that jumping catch and he caught it like on the heel of his foot. There was
Shane.
No, Sean. It's Sean.
Over, right?
I remember there was one game where C-Val, he like killed somebody, caught a ball, had 2 more balls, and then killed the last 2 people on the court. And then I remember seeing the one where Sung like, did you win grand finals catching a ball between your legs?
Oh, that was game 5.
Oh, yeah.
First round, yeah.
Yeah, showdown.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the one that has like a lot of views.
1,000.
All of them from Sung.
And probably like 10 from Hubert.
Oh, there was the one video I remember linking to everybody Doki chat where like I don't know who it was. Maybe his name is Derek and Jay Vu. They're just faking like this.
Oh yeah.
That was like a season and a half ago or something like that.
I think it was
last season.
Yeah, it was
Last season, yeah.
Yeah, I just remember opening it. I'm like, wait, what do they do? I'm like, wow. It's like, does that seem scary? Not really. But then when you're actually on the court and you do that, it's like, it's a lot scarier.
Yeah.
They're smiling.
James had no idea when he was gonna throw the ball. You're just stuck.
I was scared.
He was still like this on the back.
Fucking scared.
Well, it's funny. James told us that was actually planned from Jay.
It was planned, yeah.
Yeah.
And Keith, Cynthia, specific videos or?
I don't think I can remember any that Hubert hasn't already mentioned, but when I was in Korea, I would like watch all these videos and then take notes on like things to do or like remember when I got back into dodgeball, because I had like major FOMO because I was watching Doki play without me.
Yeah.
I didn't want to come back like complete garbage, so I never ended up listing like the titles of the videos, just like notes on things people did. So yeah, but the faking one was really memorable.
Yeah.
But I faked so hard this season, I injured my shoulder. So.
I know. Oh bad.
Like I'm still injured. It's so lame.
Yeah. Actually, to be honest, like when I think about like what's the one video we actually watch the most, it's probably our own videos, because those are the ones that we keep going back to and rewatching and going like, oh, last time I didn't know that was a mistake, but now I think it's a mistake. And then it's nice to kind of go back and just like re-see the game with like a different or maybe a better mindset.
Oh yeah.
That's probably why the Doki channel has like, hundreds of views on some videos. It's
It's from us.
It's just that.
rewatching it.
Oh, actually, the tier 2 championship run that we had, that was probably what I watched the most, because I wanted to go back and figure out what did we do right.
To be honest, it's kind of hard to watch that video now because I'll like see the really dumb stuff we do, and I'm like, ooh, yikes! Like,
you just cringe at your own self once in a while.
Oh, like
absolutely, yeah.
I'm like, why am I yelling so loudly?
I hate watching old videos too. They're so bad back then. Really, really old videos. No one really knew what they were doing.
James,
really
nice backdrop.
Yeah.
It's not even his backdrop, it's his face.
Yeah.
It is him.
Meld it into your face.
But yeah, it is. Well, like, what's so different from back then, like play style wise? Because I remember watching like, sorry, this was season 27 Tuesday.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So
I just remember you guys. Sorry, I just remember you guys playing like hyper aggressively, like controlling the line no matter what kind of mentality. But is there anything that's different from now?
I would say that we put an emphasis on covering for each other this season, especially in the first 10 seconds. Like, I think Hubert was the first one to bring it up amongst our throwers. But like, if someone's going after one of your guys, you got to be ready to cover for them. And then that really improved our gameplay this season. Other things would involve like the roles of girls on the team. I would say, like, if we're gonna pick up a ball, there has to be a purpose. You're not just gonna pick it up and then run the timer down for no good reason. Yeah,
I think we learned what splitting was from Kelvin, especially like when you have 3 balls and you have the line. You don't want to all just kind of throw together in a cluster of 3. You usually try to get like 2 to throw, and then your third person will probably just kind of cover and hold their ball until the other balls come back, and then you'll kind of switch off and have the other, or like the guy in the middle and the guy who didn't throw together, and just kind of seesawing that pressure back and forth. I guess that was another pretty big thing for us, is because we would feel like, after the first 10, when sometimes we might like collect all the balls and we have control, and then we still lose the game and we don't know why. And it's because we all just kind of lined up and all threw our balls. And, if you don't get the hits and the balls stay on the other side, it's like we should have won the game, but we didn't. And then why didn't we win it? When we look back at the videos.
Or all the times we get countered when we're throwing together, even if we're set up, we throw and all of a sudden there's like a ball, they have one ball and they ended up hitting one of us out, getting the ball back, and then it'll be a turnaround.
Yeah. And then I remember there was also like, I guess last season, you guys did the review on one of our Doki videos, right? And you guys called out that sometimes we were just kind of sitting there a little bit too passive with the balls. So we've been really trying to find like the balance between like, when do we like just go and blast somebody and when do we hold back? And so like, for me, I think, I don't know, this season I've been a lot more aggressive. I'll just take the ball, run up to the line and like try to kill somebody as fast as I can. And then a lot of the times, like, it's great and it works out and it helps us like close out the game faster. Like the other team might not have enough time to react, but then sometimes I'm like way too slow, or I hesitate, or I go when I really shouldn't be going, right? Like I end up trading a lot of the times, right? And then I feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have traded, right? So yeah, just kind of working on that balance.
And Keith, any like specific videos from other than what they mentioned already?
That I've watched multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
My memory is really bad. We usually timestamp and link videos in our group chat. So if I check my chat history, I'll probably find like a dozen. But I don't think there's any specifics. There's like a whole bunch. I mean, there's a period where I kept finding a lot of Ian Parker's plays where he'd make ridiculous sweeps, and I'll be like, how do you stretch like that? How do you like a midair splits and then sweep a ball? Nothing specific comes to mind though when I think about it. At least not right now, off the top of my head.
Cool. You guys use like what was it? Application called Flow Feedback to like break down your video even more and like comment on specific timestamps and stuff, right? Do you guys only do that for your own videos or like for other teams as well?
We only recently started using Flow Feedback in the past month or so after one of our guys on our BBC team, Ben, he suggested it because he uses it for his jiu-jitsu stuff.
Yeah.
Before that though, it was just like notepads we use like Line to chat, notepads in like Line and timestamps. So it would be really messy and it was hard to kind of keep track of who noticed what until we started using Flow.
And I guess that's good for that question. So going into more of a casual question, who was your favorite Monday teammate? Because Monday teammate, no slap for song. That's me, Kevin Young, Enzo, and Debs, and we'll just throw in Kevin Chung as well because he subbed in for us week 1, I think. Who'd you guys like? What was it? Enjoyed the most, like playing with? And be honest.
I guess I'll start. Yeah, like for me, it has to be Kevin Young because at the end of, or not the end of the season since we never finished, but he became my mixtape brother. And when I say mixtape brother, I had this saying where when I take a ball from the back wall and I run up to the midline and try to smoke somebody, it's called dropping my mixtape. So then I would do that, and then Kevin would do it, and he kind of got in on the joke as well. And I remember there was one time he was sitting on the bench, and then I was playing on Doki, so he's not on the team. And then he's just yelling from the bench, he's like, drop your mixtape, drop your mixtape. So I take the ball, run up as fast as I can, I like smoke this guy at the line, and it's just, it's dropping my mixtape. And I probably had the most fun playing with him because he's just like kind of crazy all over the court.
Yeah. The worst is when all our guys try to drop their mixtape at the same time. Like in our more for fun team, BBC on Thursday, like we have our top gunners just all going back and forth and like trading. And I think Teresa, who was our sub at the time, were just at the back like freaking out, like, what are you doing? Where's the ball control?
Yeah, but we're about to drop that mixtape though.
All right, Hubert, let's get start rapping right now. Let's go for it.
Oh.
Mom, spaghetti. Favorite Monday teammate?
It's okay, Keith. You can say me. I'm okay with this.
I mean, sure. Would that be like a cop-out answer? Yeah, it's nice having somebody back from Korea, our missing teammate. I don't know. Cynthia, you wanna go first?
Okay, I'll go first. I tend to play with the same people every season, so it was. Oh God, I'm gonna sound like I'm kissing butt, but like Des was so cool to play with. Because
how much money is she giving you for that one?
Number one.
No, like I don't think you guys understand. Like after hearing that Monday, I was only gonna play 2 nights of dodgeball a week, and then I ended up playing 4 because like obviously couldn't say no to the Monday team.
Yeah.
Like dream lineup for me. But yeah, I learned a lot. Whether or not like Des would never like. I don't know if I can swear, but like she would never like be mean to me, but just like watching her or like taking her like small feedback, or when I'm hit out first and I get to see how she like cleans up the game while on court. That was nice. And she's always really positive, even when like after the game and she didn't know me yet and I'm like bugging her for advice all the time. Yeah. All right, Keith, back to you.
Shit. Can't really pick one, I guess. I guess for me, in terms of being practical, I think it was nice playing with Sung and Enzo specifically, more than everyone else, but not. Oh God, I'm digging myself into a hole. More because Sung and Enzo play like a more control. They have a lot of court presence, and they play more patient and controlled, which I've been severely lacking, especially as a middle. So, especially having watched and trying to copy like Sung's play and Enzo's play from videos, it was great to get like live feedback and to play with them on the court. After a game, we'd be like, "Hey, was this a mistake? Should I have done this? Why did you do this?" Enzo has actually been really proactive with that. He's actually been coming up to me without me asking, and then telling me, "Hey, I think this would have been the better play there," or he'd be asking me like, "Hey, what were you thinking here? Did you see so and so with a ball, or that they didn't have a ball?" In terms of that, I think it would be like Sung and Enzo, probably my favorite teammates. Not to say I don't like everyone else.
Yeah,
he was saying that. Definitely saying that.
Raph, do you want to take away the rest of the questions?
What's the next question? Hold on.
The bottom section.
The good question.
Oh damn!
Yeah, the best ones.
You should ask the one about.
I actually didn't know this, but they just told me like this like maybe half an hour ago.
Yeah.
So apparently you guys thought Enzo was gay. Whoa, what's up with that? What happened? Was he coming on to you, Keith? Is that why?
I didn't have anything to do with this.
Can you say advice? What was it really?
I didn't say it was dodgeball advice. I wasn't specific. I'll just leave it at that.
Like,
I'm joking.
Grinder profile.
Damn. All right.
Okay. Let me explain. This is a generalization. So, like when I was creeping Enzo, like because I was adding people on Facebook, isn't his profile in front of like the rainbow strip in Taiwan, like the Pride area?
His old photo.
Like, because I went to Taiwan and that was like a big moment for a lot of people to like take pictures and show pride. So I was like, okay, if it's a profile picture, it must like mean a lot to Enzo, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, Enzo is like, he looks well groomed. So I'm like,
He looks well groomed.
Which is really nice.
Well groomed. Oh man.
So
I like the fact that
potentially. And then I like don't see him with any girls, obviously. So
Damn,
obviously.
No, because it's like at dodgeball, right? Like a lot of people. Oh no.
What do you mean?
Don't worry, he's muted. Take your time. He's muted.
Yeah.
Like some people are like very obviously like playing next to their significant other, or like their significant others cheering them on from the bench, and I didn't see Enzo with anyone, so I was like, okay.
You should just
No
leave it like
girlfriend.
trash
No,
talking him.
no one cheers him on. That's why.
But yeah, that's why I thought he was gay.
Enzo, for the record, I totally thought you were straight. Just saying. Still do.
Thought.
It's just a thought. It's a thought that counts, right, guys?
You taught.
That's a pretty good explanation there, Cynthia. How much did he pay you for that one? Just not joking.
I think it was like Raph or so. We were in the car like getting ramen one night, and then it was like Raph talking about like, yeah, I think I saw Enzo with this girl on like a date once, and I was like in the back seat, kind of just like flinching, like, what? On a date with a girl?
Oh yeah, when we went to G-Men.
Yeah.
Well, I guess like for Sung, James, and I, we have no significant other that we play with. But I guess with Enzo, it's just like his profile picture that really.
Yeah, that like really sold it to me. Like it planted the seed in my brain that it was a possibility, right? I don't know.
Oh, poor Enzo.
Enzo.
Can't even explain himself.
No, he can't.
He's speechless.
Enzo's here.
Just look at the chat.
Emoji.
Bad face. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about?
Should ask them who's their kryptonite. That was always like a good question. Like they always don't want to play with this person because they're like, oh, we're playing these guys tonight. We don't want to play them because we always have, I don't know, like a bad time against them.
Mm-hmm. Or who always catches you out or who always hits you out.
Yeah.
As your number.
I don't know. Why don't you guys take it away?
For me, maybe it's Michael Harrison. I played him a lot because we played in Tier B for a while, and I'm pretty sure we played like at least 2 nights against him. Well, we used to only play 2 nights. I feel like we would always play against him. I feel like he'd always just crush me. And then I remember we played against him this season on, was it our Pickles team, our Tuesday team? And I feel I just went 0-5 against him for some reason. I was like, well, it was even bad because there was one game I started faking, and the entire season my faking's been fine. And this time it slipped out of my hand and slammed right into the ground. And I could just feel like he was just looking at me like, this monkey hasn't changed. So, yeah, it's like I'm still the same garbage. Yeah.
Trash.
I remember one season where we played against his team and we lost really hard. And then, as Sung mentioned earlier, like Doki is a pretty aggressive team. And that season when we didn't perform, I heard people talking on the bench saying like, yeah, you can be aggressive, but you have to be able to throw to back it up. And I was like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that too.
Yeah.
I think that was relative to, I think it was after our Tier 2 win. Was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was when we played on, I think it was the same playoff season when we played on BBC. We kind of played the same style, but we didn't have the same roster. And things didn't work out. I think we went 1-2. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that same playoff round. Michael Harrison caught me when we lost against your team.
Yep.
He is my kryptonite, actually.
Just monkeys.
Yeah. Shout outs to Michael Harrison. He doesn't play VDL as much anymore, eh?
Once a week?
Doesn't?
I think he plays every night I play.
Oh, okay.
I think he's on Matia's team.
Following you around, man.
Yeah. I think he plays on, what was it, Shit?
Yeah.
On Thursday nights.
Yeah. I think he mostly plays on Shit and Monday RDL, right? I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
When he plays on Shit, we play like shit.
Yeah. I don't think I can think of any kryptonites necessarily. I know Carson's caught me out like 3-4 times, and it was at moments where I was like, that shouldn't have been a catch. How did he catch that?
because it's Carson, or
because it's Carson.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty harsh, man. Wow.
I mean, I would think the same. I was like, how did he catch that? It's Carson.
Yeah, I'm just like, I had a full wind up, I had a running start, and he just caught it like outside of his hip. I'm like, I don't get it.
So Carson's your kryptonite?
He probably cheated.
Yeah. I don't think I necessarily have a kryptonite.
Oh, so you think everyone's easy?
Whoa.
No. Oh, buddy.
When you think of kryptonite, you think of like maybe someone you don't want to play against, or someone that you've never beaten. I mean, the latter statement is probably true for some people. I'm sure there's teams we've never beaten ever, but I don't know. I look forward to playing against any and everyone, especially in the higher tiers, because it's always a learning experience. I don't remember. I mean, maybe I just blocked out the memory, but I don't think we have a really, really bad record against any one particular team. Like, I don't think we've been perfectly shut out by a certain team every time that I can remember. Yeah.
I would say Carson catches me out a lot.
Yeah, are we talking about the same Carson here, guys? Like,
oh my god.
Well, there's a Carson Ha, right?
There is a Carson Ha, yeah.
Emotionally Emoji or something like that. It's got to be on Mondays, I'm guessing.
Oh, the
Mondays,
other
yeah.
one.
There's another Carson?
Yeah.
There is another Carson.
Old school Carson.
Old school Carson, exact
Carson,
Carson.
huh?
But that's the good Carson.
The good Carson.
Yeah. Definitely not Trash Bros.
Is Enzo in?
Yeah.
Hey, welcome.
Welcome
Here, I
back.
step in because that's absurd. It's absolutely not Carson Wong.
You had to cut it. Just to say it.
For those that didn't hear him, it's not Carson Wong. That's like catching them out. It's Carson Ha.
Oh, also Brandon Wen. He'll gun for me because usually in the first 10, I'm thinking like if I'm a shadow, like who's gonna prioritize me as a target, right? But if I like look away for a sec, Brandon's gonna punish like any of us for that. So yeah, it's always hard to play against someone like that.
He's also my kryptonite coach because he always catches me doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Like every time, like I jump when I really shouldn't be jumping because I jump when I panic, and I get lucky sometimes because I'll jump and I'll catch. But when I don't, it's always when Brandon's watching, and I'm always like, the game's over, I'm walking off, and he comes up to me, he's like, "What did you do?" Like, I jumped. I'm sorry.
Well, so you and Kevin are really alike then.
Oh damn! Yeah.
You panic.
Oh no, Hubert's blocking game is better, right?
Yeah, no, but they jump when they panic though.
Oh yeah.
I guess for some context for that is Brandon Wen was assigned to Doki as the mentor last season, yeah. So yeah, we kind of disappoint the coach once in a while whenever he watches us play.
Don't worry, Brandon disappoints his teammates too. So
Yeah, he's a little trash now. He's old.
Yeah. He has a broken
okay.
back.
Still enough to beat us.
He's always injured now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess like to go. Good. Sorry, Dabs, go ahead.
Oh, he's still good though. He's still good.
Really good.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know, really good, but good.
Maybe from your standard, Deb.
Yeah. He is in our top 5 for unicorn draft people,
Yeah.
so it still says something about him, right? I guess like the other flip side of that is like, who do you like playing against?
Like to play
Like,
against?
yeah, you like, oh, I'm gonna see this team or this person all the time. I just have a good time playing against them. And you're not really worried about getting, I guess, headshot or anything. You just like, I don't know, you just like being on the same court against them all the time.
I had a lot of fun playing against K-pop All-Stars. That was cool. And subbing for you guys was really fun too because I got to play.
Well,
I mean, like, you mean Blink Army.
When we give you guys 5 wins, of course you're gonna have a lot of fun.
Oh, man. No, that was just the one time.
Oh yeah, because the other time was 4-1. That's
maybe Trong's. I can't remember Trong's team.
In Dodge we trust.
In Dodge.
Yeah, in Dodge you trust. Yeah. I mean, I think it's Trong. It's always nice to be around that guy. This guy's full of jokes.
For me, maybe like Sung and Raph. You guys are pretty scary to play against. Remember, was it Trash Bros? Are you both on Trash Bros?
Oh, Sung.
Me.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not
bad.
Oh,
remember. Oh no, Sung's on the team with Kevin Young on Wednesday, right?
No, he was just subbing that one week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember like that specific. Or no, I played against you guys that one night, and then there's another night where we play against Trash Bros. I'm pretty sure you guys 5-0'd us, and yeah. Because it's nice playing against you guys because I know you guys will at least give me like some respect on the court. You won't just kind of like play around with me and then kill me, which like I definitely feel like some people like who don't know me very well, haven't played against me a lot, they just kind of like they play more aggressive on me, right? And they'll just try to like take me out right away, or they don't care if they throw first. They don't think I'll counter them. But when I play against you guys, I definitely feel like there's more respect in that. I will actually try to punish you if you guys like throw early or something. But then I still somehow like pretty much always lose still against you guys. I don't know why. Maybe it's just in my head. But yeah.
Probably in your head. Yeah. I don't know. We don't win much, man. except this season, which was weird because it's like that team is not supposed to win that much.
Yeah, because you played against us.
I remember we played against Raph. I think Raph and Debs, you guys were on a team last season. We played against you guys on Doki one night, and I remember I was last up, and then there was Raph and maybe like 2 other people, and like I had all the balls, and I just kept throwing them. I got 2 people out, and then I still had 2 more balls, and I was really trying to kill Raph as hard as I could. I threw like 3 balls at you. I couldn't hit you, and then I was so gassed out, and you just ran up and smoked me like at the midline.
Oh yeah, that was Monday.
Was that? What?
Yeah, and then I lost the show. I lost the showdown against Devs, wasn't it?
Oh no, so that's another time. That was this season. I'm talking about there's another time last season.
Shoelace timeout.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you guys were both on shoelace timeout, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was Wednesday. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Rough times last season.
All good. It's because you guys were missing Cynthia.
No.
In Korea.
I don't know, like, I think I gotta give some praise to Cynthia though, like missing 4 months, not playing for an entire season, and then coming back, you see her like catching everybody. It's kind of really impressive, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Just keep your standards low.
Well, I would say, like, I think for me, Doki Doki has been the most improved team I've seen every season. Every week, you guys improve so much, and it's not by like small increments. It's like by 10 steps ahead of everybody at this time. What do you guys like? What's been most contributing factor towards like your improvement? You would say.
This season,
I think
this season or last season?
does a lot of analysis, and like the videos, of course.
I think it's like the comfort level we have like as a team on Doki, where it's like we're all friends first before we made the team, so it's really easy to like shit on each other. I think like the first thing we did on Doki when we were in tier B and we thought we were better and we were just losing a lot of games. So we actually ended up making like a spreadsheet and we started counting like in the first 10 who threw first. Turns out Ben threw first every single game, 15 games straight, like one night. And then we were like, okay, this needs to change, right? So it's like, yeah, actually going back to like the videos and like analyzing what it is, you can, and if you keep watching the videos, at some point you can pretty much figure out like at what point you lost the game or where it could have been cleaned up, but we didn't clean it up for some reason. So yeah, just like a lot of like the video analysis, and then going past that, having other people sub on our teams, and then asking like, hey, do you know what this is? Like Kelvin asked us like, hey, do you know what splitting means? Because we obviously weren't splitting. We were all stacking on one side and throwing all our balls away. And then having those people sub on our teams and tell us like, hey, you should try this. It might be better, right? Like when you guys did the Doki review and said, oh, it looks like Hubert should have just killed, I think it was like Zim there at some point, and then I just held my ball and I didn't do anything with it. It's like at the time when I was doing it, I thought, oh, that's probably fine, right? Because I still have the ball, we have control, and eventually we'll clean out the game. But it's like I could have probably killed her, just got my ball back, right? And I didn't know that, right, until somebody like called it out, and just being able to like accept like that kind of feedback, and then just don't make that same mistake again is kind of what we go by.